Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I'll be solving the daily LeetCode challenge, and the question for today is Roman to integer. As you can see that the question is that given a string s with containing the Roman numerals, we have to convert it into the respective integer value. So what we have given is that we know that there is a symbol value pair given to us as an input, like for I it's 1 and for v it's 5 and so on. So let's see the further. There are some examples given, and the constraint which are given to us are that the length of the string given to us will not be more than 15, and it only contains the letters, the Roman numerals only. So this is a very important point, that we have the string containing only the Roman numerals and not other character value. So we just have to convert it into the respective integer values. So, and the other thing given to us specified here is that it is guaranteed that it will be a Roman numeral, and it will be in the range of 1 to 4000. So let's move to the approach for this. As you can see, I have written something here. So basically the question given to us is we have to convert a Roman numeral to integer form. So the first thing that comes to one's mind when seeing the value or symbol things is that we can create a hash map of that. So in this question we will be using this same thing. We will be creating one hash map for the Roman numerals and to their integer values that was specified to us before. So we will be creating a hash map, and the hash map will look like this. So on the one hand we have a character value, that is a single character, and corresponding to that we will have its integer value stored in hash map. So when we pass the character, we can get its corresponding value. So now let's move to one example, and it would be more easy to understand. So yeah, this is a given example. So LV111. So I stands for 1, I stands for 1, I stands for 1, and V stands for 5, and L stands for 50. So if we add it all, so we can get 58, which is the value of this. But is it always necessary to add these two? Let's see in one more example. So this example we have it of ix, where x stands for 10 and I stands for 1. Where if we add these two, we will get 11. But in this case, 11 is not the answer. 11 is not the answer. So the answer is 9. So we have to see that we have either we have to add the numbers, either we have to add them or we have to subtract them. And what thing will determine that if we have to add or subtract? That is the value which is at the later position. Let's suppose in this case I, which is of less value, is coming first, then x is coming. So we are subtracting them and giving the result 9. And whereas in the first case, the I or the 1 is coming after 5. So in this case we are adding. At this point I think the approach should be very much clear, that we are just traversing the string and we are seeing the position of the character that is coming before and comparing it with the current value. So let's move to the approach. The approach is we have to compare values with the previous character or the previous value that has been traversed. So what we'll be doing is we will first take an answer variable and initialize to 0. This will be the value which will be returning at the end, and we will take two things. One is the previous and one is the current. And while traversing, we will look for the these three things and compare them, because when we compare, we either get a number that is greater than or less than or hence and equal to the current number. So our algorithm will work like this. Let us practice this thing on a one more example. So I have an example with me is like XIV. So V stands for 5, I stands for 1, and X stands for 10. So let's traverse. And one thing while traversing, we have to keep in mind that we have to traverse from the backward direction. I'll tell you later why we are doing so. So as we move, the first thing value we got is 5, and now as it is the first value, the previous value in this case is 0 only. So we move one step ahead, where we compare 5 with the 0, and 5 is greater than 0, so we do nothing and we add it to the answer. Now our answer variable is 5. Now we compare these two values. We see that 1 is smaller than 5. As it is smaller, then we just subtract it. So what we will now the answer has been updated to 4. After that, we move to the next value, that is 10. As 10 is greater than 1, so we will be just adding it to the answer variable. So it gives me 10 plus 4, that is 14. I hope this example is clear to you. I'll show one more example that is much more complicated than this, and then we will move to the coding section. So the more complicated example is this one, where MCMXCIV. So V stands for 5, I is for 1, C for 100, X for 10, M for 1000, C for 100, and M for again 1000. So let's begin our algorithm on this and see what does this value return us. So as we move initially, we have 5, and 5 is added to the sum as the previous value is 0. Now we compare these two things and we see that 1 is smaller than 5. So we just subtract 1 from 5 and we get the result 4, which is in the answer value. Okay. Now we'll compare 1. Now 5 will be our previous value only, and we will compare it with the 100. As we see that 100 is bigger than 5, we will just be adding 100 to the answer value. So the value will be plus 100 and it will be 104. Now as we add on the value, we just update our previous value to 100. So the previous value is 100 now. So we compare previous with 10. Since 10 is smaller than 100, so we will just be subtracting it. So minus 10, and it will give us 94. Now the previous value will remain the same, that is the 100 only. Then we will compare it with 100 will be compared it with 1000. Since 1000 is much bigger than 100, so it will be added to the sum. So the answer now would be 1094. Okay, let's move it to let's move it to here. So 104 minus 10 is 94, plus 1000 is 1094. Okay, so now we are till here. Now the previous value is this. So we just delete it just to avoid any confusion. So the previous value is this. Now when it's compared to 100, the 100 is much smaller than this. So what we'll do is we just subtract 100 from this. So after subtracting, it is 994. And after that, when we compare it with 1000 with this value, then it is both are equal. In the case of equal, we will just be adding it to the answer value. So the final answer would be this plus 1000, that is 1994. So MCMXCIV, it stands for 1994. I hope everybody is clear, and also I have used many examples so that the concept is clear to each and every one of you. So now we should not waste any time and move to the coding part. So here is the code that I have written. So first what I have done is I have taken a hash map of character and integer value, and I have put the cases like with the table which was given to me, like I, V, X, L, C, D, E, M, and I have stored with their respective value. I have taken the two variables, one is the answer and one is the previous value, for which I will be comparing it. Okay. So I'll just loop it with like I equals to as I am looping from the backward side, so it will be start with the I is its length -1, it will go up to 0 and I will decrement. So what we'll be doing is we just getting the we will just use the get function of the hash map and get its corresponding value of the character that is occurring. So it will be stored in the current, it will be compared to then previous. If it's greater than equal, as we see, so it then we will be performing an addition, so it will be added to the final answer. So answer plus equals to current and previous will be updated now. Else, if it's less than as we seen is in the case of 9 ix, if it's less than, it will just be subtracted, and finally the answer will be returned. Let's run it and see what happens. Yeah, as you can see, it's done. So that is all for today. Please let me know in comment section if anyone is facing any difficulty. Also, I'll be provided the link to this code in the description section, and please like, share and subscribe my YouTube channel. I'll be posting daily a video on the LeetCode challenge. See you soon.